Would you have the goodness to come here a moment?
My dear.
Well, what do you want? What is it?
I was telling Mr. Bumble.
Hello, Mr. Bumble.
Hello, Miss Sowerberry.
That you may consider taking this boy in to work in the shop.
Dear me. He's very small.
Yes, he is rather small. There's no denying it. But he'll grow, Miss Sowerberry. He'll grow.
Ah, I dare say you will. An argument was an argument. They're a waste of time, these word college boys. They always cost more to keep than what they're worth. Still, you men always think you know best. What are you going to do with him?
He has an expression of melancholy in his face, my dear. I think he would make exquisite coffin followers.
What?
Not for the adults, for the children's practice. It would be nice to have someone in proportion, my sweet.
For once. Just for once. You may have had a good idea. Very well then. Boy, what's your name?
Albert. Albert Twist, ma'am.
A singular name.
Ah, and what is my own choosing?
Yours, Mr. Bumble.
Mine, Miss Sowerberry.
How's that?
The boy's mother came to us destitute. Brings the boy into the world, takes one look at him, from his daughters, without leaving as much of a boarding name or address.
Dear, dear. Well, Albert Twist, do you think you could look like an upstanding gentleman?
Maybe a black hat.
Never mind about
Give the boy a top hat. These things must be done proper and correct. Stand over here, boy. Henry, give us the top hat. Henry, really? It takes you twice as long to do anything as anyone else. Yes. Yes. For once, Henry, had a decent idea. Do you think you could keep that expression for a long time, boy, with a crowd watching you?
Yes, ma'am, I think so.
She's a born undertaker's mute. I can see him in a black silk suit, following behind the funeral processions with his features fixed in a suitable expression. There'll be horses with tall black plumes to escort us to the family tombs, with mourners in all corners who've been taught to weep in tune. In the coffin lined with satin, that's your funeral.
That's your funeral.
Large enough to wear your hat in, that's your funeral.
That's your funeral.
We're just here to glamorize you for that endless sleep. You might just as well look fetching when you're 6 feet deep. And the wake will drink a toddy to the body beautiful. That's your funeral.
Not our funeral.
That's your funeral. If you're fond of overeating, that's your funeral.
That's your funeral.
Starve yourself by undereating, that's your funeral.
That's my funeral?
Visualize the earth descending on you clod by clod. You can't come back when you're buried underneath the sod. We will not reduce our prices, keep your vices usual. That's your funeral.
Not our funeral.
That's your funeral.
I don't think the song is funny.
That's your funeral.
That's your funeral.
Here's the boy now, where's my money?
That's your funeral.
That's your funeral.
We don't harbor thoughts macabre, there's no need to frown.
In the end, we'll either burn you up or nail you down.
We love coughs and wheezes and diseases called incurable. That's your funeral. No one else's funeral.
That's your funeral. That's your job. Junior coffin follower. Have you eaten yet?
No, ma'am.
Charlotte! Charlotte!
What?
Bring up some of the cold drinks we put out for the dog. He hasn't been in all day, so he can go without them. I dare say the boy isn't too dainty to eat them. Are you, boy? hear it. Get to bed, Henry. Go on, Charlotte. Don't just stand there gawking. Now, Oliver Twist,